Trust me. It's all good. Close. No. So I saw something happen, but I don't know exactly what it was. He said, shit. No sweat.
Bitch, I lose extra powder in the wrong spot.
So lucky. All right, clap it up. Shalom. Oh, yeah, how about Shemel Shabbat? Let me put it up just a little bit. Salakia. Yeah, I see it more clearly than that. Yeah, Yanzar, you good, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, look, slide real quick, my man. You doing that, my slave nigga? They have been authorized to send you home. You come in there with, like, they didn't send out like any type of business. I think it's just, it might just be food. But you cough, you got a cold, you can't work.
Oh, wow.
You can't work. You gotta stay home.
Crazy.
You ain't playing.
Good. And what's Salakia? Clap it up again. What's like? That's crazy. I had in quarantine like 4,000.
Yeah. And you gotta be 6 feet from everybody, like 6 feet from the customers and shit.
No sweat. Yeah, how about Shemel Shabbat? You know what I'm saying to the brothers, yeah, how about Shemel Shabbat to the sisters? It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Out here in Durham, North Carolina. It's the Friday night Lashawan Qadash class. Priest also 50,1 holding it down. You know what I mean? And Salakia, let me see this Facebook is working too. We good. What's not crazy? You know what I mean? So yeah, so this is the Friday Lashawan Qadash class. This is the language class. You understand? Where we go into, you know what I'm saying, that the language aspect of our culture, which of course we're trying to get back to. You know what I mean? So like trying to do some adjustments. That's hopefully y'all can see that board right there. You know what I mean? And so we're gonna get right into it. Last week we touched on a few topics, as you can see, that's still on the board. We did a little bit of a review where we kind of went over pronouns. You know what I'm saying? And we went over basically attaching pronouns to verbs and things like that within the present tense, right? So you can see. So we'll get into this in a second. We're kind of going to divide the board today. We're going to get into this again over here. Over here, we're going to do some review of just the Assyrian, right? But first, brother, you know what scripture I like to get? Give me 1 Corinthians 13 verse 1. Right? Let's start with the scripture. Well, first, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what do you think? Like, you talk. Take your time. First, give me Zephaniah 2:1. That has become my absolute favorite scripture. And it's at this stage, what we're going through in America as Israelites, toss it. No sweat. Yeah, what we're going through as Israelites, you know what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, this scripture is essential, you know what I mean? And the time is just running short. So, go ahead and do that, brother.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves.
What?
Gather yourselves.
Don't separate yourself.
Gather yourselves.
Be on.
Gather yourselves.
Be an individual.
Gather yourselves.
Read on.
Together.
Together. Read.
Yeah. Gather together. O nation.
It told you twice. Gather yourselves together. Yeah. Gather together. Oh what?
O nation.
No, just your block.
O nation.
Just black people.
O nation.
Just Hispanics.
O nation.
The whole nation of people. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians make it the 12 tribes of Israel. And that nation, the nation of Israel, is supposed to gather together, you know?
O nation, not desire.
O nation, not desire. You know?
Verse 2. Before the decree bring forth.
And that's it on that. O nation, not desire. We're not desiring in this place, as you can see. I just saw a video. It's viral right now. Who saw that video that happened in Brooklyn?
When they beat up the kid?
Yeah, in Qadash. When they beat up that young boy.
Nothing, man. You see how they didn't even talk to him. I asked him nothing.
He was asking questions and they didn't answer. Now these people, right, are committing what is supposed, or they're doing what is supposed to be a public service. They are a social, you know, a socialist group. They get paid by tax dollars. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're there for. And their motto was what? To protect and serve.
Yeah.
How are you protecting and serving somebody by them asking you a question? What crime did I commit? And you won't tell them.
Nothing.
What crime did I commit? What am I being detained for? And then the same people will say, well, some coon or some heathen will say, he was moving too much.
Which is bullshit.
Which is nonsense, right? He was moving too much. Well, you would be moving too much too if somebody didn't really identify themselves. This is a plainclothes cop. I didn't see the part of the video where they showed his badge. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that took place.
Well, if he did it because the kid, you hear the kid asking, "Who are you?"
Right, exactly.
Ask him, "Who are you?"
Who are you?
Identify.
I don't know who. Like you just imagine me dressed like this and walk up to somebody and just be like, "Get up against the wall." You're like, "Yo, no," because I don't know who you are, what you are. You know what I'm saying? Just because you act like a cop don't mean anything to me. You could be trying to rob me. It's dark. It's late. I'm trying to get home. I'm in Canarsie, Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Where all kind of things can happen. So that situation right there, man. And then of course they beat the brother.
They beat him bad.
Bad. And it was tough to watch. It was one of the more tough to watch videos I've seen. And I've seen some bad ones. We've all seen some bad ones. But hearing that brother screaming and just begging for help was, you understand, it really just put me in a bad place. I know a lot of our people have seen this video, and it's tough to watch. But things like that let us know, you understand, that we're not desired in this place. Please.
Right, if I may. I sent you this link as well.
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
A New York City police officer, Hispanic brother, he had kept record of when they were ordering him to arrest Black and Hispanic men. And he gave it to the New York, the New York City Law Department, destroys cops' notes on alleged racist arrest quota system.
Wow.
He took it to the law system. They destroyed the book. And he, so now the judge ruled that they have evidence that I sent you the whole story.
Right, yeah, I saw it pop up.
Yeah, so
a little bit further
the
down.
judge ruled that they did in fact destroy the evidence of that. They were ordering these police officers to arrest. This is the 40th precinct. It's right there on 138th Street. And what is that? I don't know exactly where it is. And they arrest Black and Hispanic men by a quota system. And he had the evidence, and he turned it in. And they destroyed it. And now the judge ruled, because they did an investigation. This happened like last year. But the judge ruled that they did, in fact, destroy the evidence.
Right.
So it's going to be some more after that. But this is more proof, of course, on top of this beating that this young man took today, or whenever it happened. A couple of days ago. Last Thursday.
Yeah. So, with that being said, the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks.
That's right.
You understand that. But read the scripture one more time from the top.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Right, this is the time to gather ourselves together because the scriptures command, because the Most High commanded us to do it. You see it right in front of you, man. We've been seeing it in front of us. But now the Isupk became commanded to the Yohana, man. We out here, man. We out here in the highways and byways. Right. We in the online classes. We out here in Durham, North Carolina, 2534 South Roxbury Street, every single day of the week. I've been here every day, except Sunday for the past, 3 weeks? You know what I'm saying? And the only time I might have missed a Thursday class is if there was some weather or something. Right. But me and my brothers is in here consistently.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So our people need to take heed. Because they see how they're treating us out here. Finish it off?
Yeah, gather together. O nation, not desired.
O nation, we're not desired, man.
Right.
That brother is in his home in Canarsie, Brooklyn, man. Right. And is undesired. The same people who are supposed to protect and serve, that's what they claim they're there for. No. What they did is they didn't give that brother any kind of, it really looked like they were treating, like they were dealing with a wild animal. Yeah. Not because he acted like one, but because they treated him like they were dealing with some kind of ravenous lion or something. They didn't answer no questions. They didn't treat him like a human being who deserves to know, why am I being detained? What crime have I committed? Why is this happening? Right. You understand?
That's exactly what he was saying.
And then ask yourself if these same things we brought up in the class earlier this week about Latasha Harlins back in the 90s. and regarding all these people. Ask yourself if these things, these crimes, because they are crimes, were committed against their people, what would happen? Please.
If I may, there's a video also
Mm-hmm.
of these white folks
Mm-hmm.
brawling
Mm-hmm.
at this cruise ship
Mm-hmm.
entrance.
Right.
And you can see the guards and security, you can see it on the video, they ain't doing nothing, they just letting them fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a contrast. Like they're actually committing a crime.
Right.
And nothing is being done.
Of course, because they're because they are desired.
Yeah.
They're a nation that is desired. They can do that and nobody thinks anything of it. You can be a black man doing nothing, and that to them is scarier and worse than 10 white people doing something heinous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's worse than one of these other nations, Moab. You know what I'm saying? Ammon doing something heinous, Elam. You understand? So that scripture is true. So this is one of the ways in which we get started, man. You got to have a culture. Right. All these other nations are bound by their culture. I've seen it all through my life. I used to go into Dunkin' Donuts, man. You know what I mean? And they be back there talking all that Hindi talk. That's how they communicate with each other back then. They talk they English language. They, you know what I'm saying? They speak in whatever language they speak. The Asians, they speak Cantonese or Mandarin or whatever. You go to their neighborhoods. You go to the Muslim neighborhood, the Arab neighborhood. They speak Arabic. You understand? They're bound by their culture. They wear their. I went to high school with Elamites who were Sikhs. They were Sikhs, so they wore turbans to school every day. Mind you, these dudes had full beards in high school. I kid you not. Y'all think I'm joking? I kid you not.
That's funny. That's funny.
They, I don't know how, but they were able to grow full 100% beards at 14. Go ahead. What you got?
I'll be honest. I ain't never seen them motherfuckers with them turns in the schools down here, ever.
Because it's not like that out here, right? But I went to high school. Like I said, my neighborhood was a lot of Elamites, Eastern Europeans. There's a couple black people. All the black people really lived in Left Rack, really, and like on that side. But you know, I happened to grow up over there. But in high school, these dudes, they wore their turbans every day. There's one kid I grew up with. He lived down the block from me. He could hoop. He was an Elamite. I had never seen his hair ever. Even when he was hooping. I'm telling you, bro. It wasn't until he got like older and was like in college, and then they start to reject some of their cultural stuff. Like now they want to be more right. They want to be more Americanized. Then I saw him with the hair all. You know what I'm saying? He went into the barbershop and got a nice lineup and everything. But before that, for like 8 years, I had never seen his hair. I had no idea what his hair looked like because that's their culture and they take it serious. You know what I'm saying? I've been to back in the day, not recently, just want to make that clear. Back in the day, I went to a Moabite's house and you had to take your shoes off downstairs. Yeah. Like you had to leave your shoes like outside of the house. Yeah. You couldn't even come in and then take them off. No, you had to leave your shoes outside of the house and then go upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Please.
They can, even now, as a police officer, they can wear it.
Right. Yeah, I've been seeing that too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but they keep their culture, man. They keep their customs. You go in one of their, not telling you to go to their houses, because I was privy to be there to see what was going on. You go in their houses, them Sikhs, all on their walls is all their gods. Well, I mean, you would see it would be like the way they wear their turban with the beard. You would just see like 5 Elamites from like 1,000 years ago with a turban and some clouds. I'm like, who the hell is that? I'm like, oh, that's such and such the Great from 1200 BC. And he did, okay, no sweat. But that's how it was. Right, some prophet. Go to a Muslim house. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have the same thing. They're going to have some Muhammad or whoever the hell they got up there. Hindu house, they're going to have Shiva with 8 arms and all this. Like, that's how it is. They keep their culture, right? This is our culture, please.
If I may, like, all my life, and I think I can speak for a lot of brothers in this when I say this, we try to find a culture to attach ourselves to.
Right.
That's because we didn't know nothing, you know, but what we discover when we come into ISUPK.
That's right.
Is that we have the greatest.
That is a fact. That's right.
This gives me joy.
That's right. We have the greatest culture on the planet Earth because our culture builds. Our culture builds, man, and is a stronghold. Moab culture has them dropping like flies. That's their culture. Me and my rib was watching it the other day. Like they eat bats. That's not like something that just started and no, that's what they do. You understand?
Like this is a regular.
This is a regular thing that they be doing, man. So yeah, so this is the culture, man. We want to get back to it now. With that being said, give me the other one I want real quick. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 1. Give me that.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men.
Right. This is a scripture that's talking about charity, right? What real charity is. That doesn't mean that you gave to the poor. It doesn't mean real charity is not that. Real charity is brotherhood. Right. You understand that. But what it says next is the part that I want to get. Read on.
Though I speak with the tongues of men.
Though I speak with the tongues of men. The tongues of men is just the languages that human beings speak. All the different ones, man. After the time they started speaking some language that don't even got words. It just got clicks and that's the language. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, where you going? I see you there. That's what it is, man. Read on.
Of men and of angels.
And of angels. So you got the tongues of men, the languages of men, and you have the tongues of who?
Angels.
The tongues of angels.
That's right.
What's the tongues of angels?
Lashawan, Qadash.
Lashawan, Qadash, which translates as tongue that is holy, right. Or the holy tongue. That's what it means. Our language is a holy language. It's better than everybody else's language.
That's right.
Our culture is better than everybody else's culture. That's the end of that. We're going to get into it right now. You know what I'm saying? So the water for that. Clap it up for our culture being better than everybody else. Now, before we get back into these pronouns and these present participle verbs, conjugations, first things first I'm going to do, we can get back to Shamar. We know how that works. But, brother, I need you real quick. Help me out. I know you just nice with the Hebrew. So I need you to do me a favor. I need you to write as quick as you can, just on this side. Just write it across like this. Like if you have to, just like boom, maybe 2 lines here for the ancient, and then under it, boom, boom for the Assyrian. Right? And don't forget. Remember, some of those Assyrian letters have a different version.
Yeah.
Right? So make sure you put that in there too. If you can't, barbecue shot. Right. Because we've been doing a lot of again, grammatical stuff. We touched back on the letters as well, but I want to make sure that we're very familiar with the Assyrian too. We love that ancient. I know why. The ancient is to us. I love the ancient because that's really our language. That's the real Hebrew that we spoke and that we wrote. However, we also have to remember we're in captivity, and it is essential. Guess what? Let me tell you something too. Somebody is going to challenge you on knowing the Assyrian. They're going to challenge you, and they're going to go on their computer and somehow find. They're going to say a bunch of stuff, and they're going to say it like Yiddish. But you need to be able to look at whatever crap they wrote as Yiddish and show, that really says anak now. You know what I'm saying? But you got to know that Assyrian so you can do that. We got to be well versed in both. You understand? We have to, especially so we can read. Let me say real quick. So we can all be in the Sabbath service, and we can read this. You understand? You see that? That's written in that Assyrian, right? I'm gonna show it to the class too, but that's the Assyrian. Most of the Tanakhs you see are written in the Assyrian. Now I done heard there's some brothers who got one written in ancient. I've heard it. I think I might have seen the digital copy, but I haven't seen a physical copy. Of course, you can print it out, but I have seen a digital copy of the Tanakh in the ancient, right? But most of the time, you're gonna see it, you know what I'm saying, in the Assyrian. Also on the Facebook, you show you real quick as well. You know what I'm saying? This is what you're gonna see. This is what we gotta read for the Sabbath service. You understand? We gotta read that Assyrian. Okay? Let's see what it looks like.
Assyrian is this?
Right. So this is the ancient. This is the Assyrian. This is also the Assyrian. This is just handwritten. Right? You can see that's what it is. So when we read the Sabbath service, this is what we read. What?
Yo, did y'all see that dude that was eating the live rat and shit?
Yeah, I did see that. You understand? By the way, the water, y'all so appreciate it, brother. Also, you understand? So we're gonna print out some more of these, man, because for the class so that everybody can. I'm saying it's like a little bit of a bigger version, right? You know what I mean, but this is good. This is a Tawab tool to have, man. You want to keep this. You want to keep this in your, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to forget this. Study this consistently, even myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm teaching the class, but I'm learning just like y'all, just like everybody else. I'm learning as I go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get better every day. Salaki. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so we want to be able to go through this without looking at it. You know what I'm saying? But still look at it and just have this foundation. You know what I'm saying? This foundation of the language. So when you see that Assyrian or when you see the ancient, you can at the very least you can pick out those letters. You know their sounds. And eventually, the more and more you do it, then you won't be sounding it out. At first, yeah, it's gonna sound, you're gonna be like la, sha, wa, Lashawan. You'll start there. We all did. I mean, but we're all gonna get better together. Right. All right. Now, let's see what we got now, Zara. All right. Let's all say it together real quick, right? Real quick, let's all say it together. In the ancient. Ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, qua, ra, sha, fa. What's that in Christ? You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna fix this. Let's just make it a little. Sorry. There we go. Yeah. Right. Also with the God, because this kind of looks like this look like a Assyrian wa.
It has a
But you want it to be more like
a slant to it.
There we go. You understand? Right. That's good. Most of Christ, that's Tawab. You see? That's Tawab job. Now, let me see something. Okay, now Yanazar. Okay, no sweat. You gotta give me the appropriate. Some of these letters are missing the other form, right? Because you got okay, this ba, it's swa, but it's flat. You know what I'm saying? It's flat. Ba, ga, da. This da's a little. Like again, it's not too bad, but the da it's more on one side.
Oh, okay.
So that's the big thing. It's not
centered. Okay.
Right. So on one side. Ha, wa, most sign in Christ. Wa, right? Za, ka. I'll just bring it down just a little bit, but that's a while. Ka, ta, ya, ka. That's wa. La. Right now this la. I see what you were doing, right? It's la, man. You again. When I tell you, bro, you're gonna just trust me.
Okay.
I know how it looks from here. Trust me. they're gonna expect it to look like this. More like that.
Okay.
You understand? It's almost gonna look like a sideways 3 that comes down. All right? And if you think about it, if you really look at the handwritten one, it's kind of like that. I think the handwritten one, it's kind of like that. It doesn't dip as much, but it's kind of like, it's gonna look like a sideways 3. Okay? Let's see. Ma, same thing now. I will just clean this up again, just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Right, the ma, you know what I'm saying? It's just like boom, boom, boom. And with that little space right there, it doesn't connect, right? Ma, I like the nah. I like how you did the nah because you look at this one and you say, oh, that's a, but the handwritten kind of does look like a 3 as well. So I like how you did. That's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Sa, I, pa, right? Perfect. You know what I'm saying? You see? You know, I'll take that. And you can just put them like this. But that's too odd either way. Pa, taza, wa, ra, sha, da. Right? And then just connect this. Boom.
Oh, that's connected.
Yeah, that's connected. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But nonetheless, it's also it kind of curves in the opposite direction. It doesn't kind of curve like boom, boom. It's more like
Outward.
yeah. You understand?
Ah.
Right. But now I want to see. Let's do this one too, right? And then I'm gonna have you do those last ones. So can we reel these off too? Ready? Ah.
Wow.
We're gonna do it together. 1, 2, 3. Ah. Ba. Ga. Da. Ha. Wa. Za. Ha. Ta. Ya. Ka. La. Ma. Na. Sai. Ah. Slack it. Back it up. We're going back to the la. 1, 2, 3. La, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, qua, ra, sha, da. Most time in Christ. You got here. And you guys are here, man. This brother, man. I'm telling you, like I said, man, when we write them scrolls, I want you to be a scribe, all right? I want like you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's carved into the, you know what I'm saying, into a wall, stone, or marble. You know what I'm saying? Well done. Now, the last thing I need you to do is I need you to point out which letters. Here's what, so I want you to circle the letters that need that final, the version of the, okay? Please. The one. Good. Mm-hmm.
And I know it's the tough one. I got it right here. Oh. And to Zastan.
Right.
I get this this pen in right.
All right, that's at the end of it. Most time Christ. All right, get a brother in, man. Only question I have is what's the first one?
Oh. Supposed to be a lot. I mean, it's supposed to be a car.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to.
Boom, down. Keep going. Right. Boom. That's it. That's it. Ka, ma, na, pa, tiza. Most High incorrect. That is very suave. Suave job, brother. So, what the brother just did was, he went ahead and he filled out basically these, you know, I don't know the technical word for it, right? But the point is, these 5 letters, right? The ka, the ma, the na, the pa, and the tazah, when they are at the end of a word, you know what I'm saying? This is how they look. This is when you start a word of advice, right? You want to start to hone in on the small details. The reason why I say that is because it's no different than building a house, right? When you build a house, you got to have a firm foundation. And the foundation is made, every single thing that is big and grand and strong is made up of a bunch of well-placed small things. When you put the small things in the right place, that's how you build things up, right? When you start to understand the small details of this language, certain things will start to automatically make sense to you. You know what I'm saying? So even just something as simple as this will help you when you're reading the Assyrian, because you'll see a letter at the end of a word and you'll say, right, and you'll say, well, that can't be a na, because if that was a na, it would look like this. That can't be a ka, because if it was a ka, it would look like this at the end of the word. You know what I'm saying? Because say the ma, right? Sometimes the ma, when you're reading the Assyrian, the ma and the sa can kind of mess you up, but you can tell the difference to say, well, okay, this is a ma because it's in the middle of a word. This is the end of the word. This cannot be a ma because of this. Or it can't be a sa or it can't be a ma because it would look like this, right? So these small details you want to keep in mind. It's very crucial, right? And then we're going to get into more. We talked about it the other week, right? About like say, what you call it? Not pronouns, but qualifiers and determinants, suffixes. So now, because of the things we learned again, we're gonna keep going over and over again. But the adjectives, the determiners, the suffixes that we learned, one of them, what is the suffix for your?
Fine.
No, not the pronoun. These are pronouns. Anya. These are pronouns. The suffix or the determiner that goes at the end of a word that tells you who it belongs to. So I know if I want to say I, the suffix for that is what? Is ya. So ak is brother. If I want to say my brother, I'm going to say what? Akia. If I want to say our brother, what would I say? I wouldn't say Akia now, but Ak now. Ak now. There are times when it would just read it as Akia now, but for now, Ak now. Now means our, right? If I want to say your or thy, what is it? I'll give you a hint. It's one letter. Same way we said Akya, it's a different word. But this is a different letter.
Ka.
Most High in Christ. That's what it is. But now, Shabbat Shemayim, right? Qadash, Haya,
Shamka.
Shamka, which means what? Hallowed be
Thy name.
your name, thy name. Sham is name. If I want to say your name or thy name, it's Shamka, right? So every word, a Hebrew word, right? If I see ma'awar, that means teacher, right? That's a noun, that means teacher. If I see ma'awar, this is ancient, but if I was to see a ma I see the, where is that? Slow. I see a ma, a wa, and a ra. And then at the end, I see this. I know that this is a ka at the end of the word. So my instinct is going to be to say, even if I don't know the word, my instinct is going to be probably to assume that this is an adjective, that this is a determiner. So I'm going to say, my award cup. My award cup by teaching, right? That's a good assumption. It's not always right, but if I first look at it, I might say my awara cup or my awarak, my awarak. But that would be wrong, right? I have to see this at the end of a word and say, oh, okay, there's a good chance that that is one of these adjectives or determinants. So like, I mean, it's not written down here, but adjectives determined as these suffixes. You understand? So like, now, all right, so let's see. Perfect. Well done. Well done. Now what I want to do is we're going to combine the two, right? We're going to leave this here for a second. And then we're going to get into, we're going to just touch back up on this, and we're going to use this Assyrian and write out a sentence or a few sentences, right? And read them through and see how these things play out.
Yeah, that's good.
Right. So this is I'll write this down for you. What this is called, somebody look at this before we do it again. Look at the definition of a present participle. I'm going to spell it out.
Present participle.
Right. Present participle. Present participle. Somebody look that up.
Okay, I got it.
What is the definition of a present participle?
The form of a verb, English,
Right.
which is used in continuous tenses.
Continuous tenses. So I don't want to confuse you, but there's a slight difference between the present participle and a gerund.
You know,
A gerund. We talked about before, G-E-R-U-N-D. Gerund is the ing form of a verb that is used as a noun. Right? For example, I'll give you an example.
I need an example.
I got you.
If you may.
Usually that can be used, the same word can do the same thing. We'll do it in English first. Everybody, because we're not using much ancient today, right? I'm gonna get rid of this, okay? Everybody 12 on that? I'm gonna get rid of this. Right, so we're getting a little grammar lesson in general, an English grammar lesson and a little Lashawan Qadash, right? We're only learning it for the sake of understanding how it works in our own language, but it's important nonetheless. So, forgot my marker.
Present participle.
So, we have the English verb swim, right? In the present participle, it's still a verb. The only difference is it's the ing form, that definition just said that forms the continuous tense. It basically means that the process is ongoing. It is happening, right? Because I can say I swim, but that doesn't mean I'm currently doing it.
Swimming.
Right. But if I'm currently doing it, I would say I am swimming. You understand?
Come.
I am swimming. This would be the present participle. But here's how a gerund works. A gerund takes this and turns it into a noun, right? By doing something like this.
You spell it G-E-R-U-N-D?
like this. G. Jared. I. That's the difference. Because now the swimming is a thing. Like I can say I like apples. I like oranges. You know what I'm saying? I like Nike boots. I like swimming. Swimming is now a thing. It's a noun, or it's used as a noun within the sentence. You understand? The liking part is the verb. I like. This is what I'm doing.
That's a present.
Right. But swimming is not what I'm doing in the sentence.
Right.
In this sentence, what am I doing?
You're swimming.
I'm swimming. In this sentence, what am I doing?
You like swimming.
I'm liking something. Right. That's the difference. I like swimming. I enjoy this thing. In this one, I'm doing this thing. So that's the difference. But they still, as you can see, they're the same word, swimming. So in this case, this is the present participle. It's the present tense that is continuous. I am doing this thing. I am currently in the process of doing this thing. Okay? Now, everybody got this?
Come.
Son of Christ. So now, real quick, before we do the next round of this, I want to talk a little bit more about those pronouns, right? That's right in front. I'm fuck. And I want to do a little bit of flexing real quick, not for myself, but for the Isupk and the community. You know what I'm saying? We're not just, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna show you in the Assyrian, and it's like in the Blue Letter Bible or the Concordance, where these words are made up. This is actual. So what we're gonna do is take a chance, Bob Shot. I want us also again. Like I said, we learning this language together. Now, my brothers in the school, my high-ranking officers, and them brothers that been doing this for a long time, they ain't learning the goddamn thing. You know it. You know what I'm saying? Them generals, them captains, them high officers, they know you. You know what I'm saying? What I'm bringing to you, I didn't come up with this. I'm watching their classes and just bringing it to you, and I'm learning as I'm going. You understand? So now, what I want us to do is start to get familiar with using the tools so we can start to study and things like that. And Blue Letter Bible is one of those tools we use, right? We've used it a few times. But again, I want to drive this point home because it can help you a lot of times when you're trying to find a word. Now, if you need the breakdown on the word, you got to go to the priests and prophets. You got to go to one of them high-ranking officers. You got to go to the captains and the generals. Do not take the word and look at it on Blue Letter and say to yourself, yep, I know how to pronounce this, because you goddamn don't. I don't. You understand? When I pronounce these words, I'm doing my best until I get the perfect understanding. When I wrote down a warrior, it wasn't because I just made it up and I just thought of it. I watched a brother's class who I know knows the Hebrew. This is how you pronounce the word. All right? But everybody got that Blue Letter Bible up on their phone? Just go to the website, blueletterbible.org. Okay? Because this is just a little tactic so you can help find a word, and we're going to use it to help find these pronouns that are 100% Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? They're in the Bible. To help you find scriptures too. Everybody got it? Let me know what you got, Doc.
BlueLetterBible.org. I got like an app, but I always have difficulty with it.
No, go on like this. You don't got an iPhone. Just go to the regular web browser. Like you go on a website.
You know, Blue Letter Bible uses body of partial miracle.
It should look like this. Hold up. It should just look like this.
So I should just go to Google it, right?
No worries.
Because, blueletterbible.com.
.org.
Got it.
Got it?
It comes back to the same thing, like on my app.
Mm-hmm.
Should be right at the top.
Okay, so that's gonna take you back. Okay, you scroll down. There you go.
Turn that around. That's incredible.
So now, we talked about before the main, how do I say it? You could call it a reference book, you understand? Lexicon to a degree that we use to get to know what words mean and stuff in the Hebrew. One of them, not the only one, the other ones. But one of the main ones we use is called Strong's. Strong's Concordance.
I got that.
Right. Now, Strong, this was an Edomite, you know what I'm saying, but he was a scholar. I'm trying to get his whole name real quick. James Strong.
That shit about that thick.
Yeah, I don't know where mine is. I think it got to be in my house somewhere.
I got one in my house. I know that. But I bought it.
James Strong, I'm saying he was born in New York. He was a New Yorker, theologian, right? And he, you know what I'm saying, he was able to translate certain words within the scriptures out of the Hebrew. He was, now again, let's get this straight. He was not the originator of the translation of these words. How do we know? This man died in 1894. When did King James commission over 40 scholars to translate the Bible out of the original Hebrew and original Greek? Go ahead.
If I'm at 1611.
That's when it was published. But I believe they started years. They didn't start in 16. No, I was just saying it's a while.
Yeah.
They didn't start in 1611. You gotta imagine, right?
It was like 7 years.
Right, yeah, it took time. Right. So this was a ongoing process. I'm saying it was in 1611 was when it was published. You know what I'm saying? In fact, the first English translation of the Bible was only published maybe 10 or so years before. So the King James Version wasn't the first one. It was like the third, right?
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 movies.
Yeah, it was like two. There was two before that one was published, right? But they weren't published by King James.
Right.
They weren't published by a brother from the tribe of Judah,
Right.
who had access to over 40 scholars.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he had access to the best, as opposed to one cat, you know what I'm saying, trying to translate the whole junk. You know what I mean? But, well, I say that to say this. So we use the Blue Letter Bible and the concordance. The concordance is in it. The Blue Letter Bible goes off of Strong's concordance, right? So when you looking on Blue Letter Bible, all of the entries come from Strong's, okay? From James Strong's concordance that he made, right? So now, his system works as such.
It's a lot. He has like a numerical system, right?
Right, he had a numerical system, but it was both numerical and alphabetical. It's a numerical system in how you find the entry. So how he did it was, you have H, which represents what? What does the H represent?
Hebrew.
Right, represents Hebrew. Then you have a number next to it, which is going to it just denotes where this word lies in what?
The concordance.
But based on what?
Alphabetical order.
I'm sorry, Christ, get that brother in hand. Alphabetical order. Right? So when we see, so now we can use this system to find words. It's not easy, but it can be done. Every single one of these words that we're using corresponds to one of these within the Strongs, right? Concordance. Okay. So the point being this. When the numbers alphabetical order, they go from the H100 something all the way up to the 8,000. So what's the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet? Ah. So like you, a second. So, can anybody guess what the first word in Strong's is? Now you think in alphabetical order just like in English. Just like in English. If we say, we'll get there. 1 second. Let's say you have the word tire, and then you have the word, let's say, tier. Which word goes first in alphabetical order?
Tier.
How you doing?
Because the E comes before the I.
Right. So if this is the same, the first letter is the same, you go to the next letter. Right? So go to the next letter. And which one of those comes first? E comes before I. So in alphabetical order, this would be over this word. So, okay? And when we're dealing with the Hebrew and the Strongs, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. So if I is the first letter, Ba is the second letter, Ga is the third letter, so on. There are no Hebrew words that are that start with What you say?
Abba.
Which means what?
Father.
Give that brother a hand. That is the first word. So in Strong's Concordance, H1 is the Hebrew word. We'll write it in Assyrian. Abba. It's the Hebrew word Abba. And based on this system, we can continue to find other words. So then if we were to go, so that's H1. Right? If we typed in, and how you can literally do that in Blue Letter Bible, right? You just go, right? We did it before, up to where it says verse or words in the search. Okay, let me see.
Search.
So search bar,
Okay.
right? And if you type in H1, enter, or go. So like, you gotta do it right here.
Okay.
Go up there. Now type in H1. No. Type in HI.
Oh, so
You too hard.
let me get it again.
Get it again.
I'm going to this shit right
You
here.
good, bro. That's how you do it. You go in there, type in 8, now give it that and press the number 1. Now press go.
Number uno.
Mm-hmm. What comes up?
Abba.
Mm-hmm. See it?
Yeah.
The same thing?
A.B. Abba, father of an individual or God.
Again, you gotta remember, they're going off of Yiddish. So they're saying and things like that. But we read Hebrew right. So it's a because remember they have that little crack there, that little vowel point, which changes everything. But this word is Abba. Alright? It's an ah. Ba. Was it connected between the two? It's like there's no connecting. It's abba. Right? That's why we say abba now. I think that there are times when it's connected, right? But the root word is abba. But we use this system to find words. So now let's say, so we do the same thing here. They don't know, they think that we just saying when we say Anya, that ain't Hebrew. I thought, no, it's Hebrew. So we take the word Anya, and we'll do the same thing. So all we got to do is, we know that Ah is early in the alphabet. It's the very first letter. It's the very first letter in the Hebrew alphabet. So we know if we're trying to find the Hebrew word Anya, we simply need to just go early in the scriptures. I mean, in the Blue Letter Bible. So I'll real quick. Shalakia.
So in that case, you would just put in the word in the same place where I put in the H1.
Here's the problem. It wouldn't be as simple as typing in Anya.
Right, because they're using it.
Right, because they're Most High Christ. They're using some kind of Yiddish garbage. They won't know this. This won't make sense to it. But what we can do is we can just kind of prod through and find it. So we can just type in H100. Let's start thinking. We know the first letter is Ah. We know the first letter is Ah. We know the second letter is Na. So we can go type in H100.
And get I'm going Moan. Oh, it is Yiddish.
Of course, no, you too, Ah.
Moan.
H100. So, but okay, good. No sweat. So we got a Ah and a Ga. That's still within the first three letters. We need to go all the way from Ga to Nat, which is towards the middle. So we can jump up. Let's go jump up. Let's go H300. What we got? H300. Akya Shakar. Right? Right? Says it means brother of the dawn.
Ah, shit.
Akya Shakar.
Shakar.
Mm-hmm.
Akya Shakar.
But we still, that's a Ah and a Ka, which the Ka is right after the Za. We need a Ah and a Na. So we got to go further. Let's try H500. What you got?
You think it's that far?
I do.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. I know that it's further.
Okay.
So H500, what we got? Alila or Alila. More like Alila. Alila Ah. Right. That sounds right. Alila. Right? It's a Hebrew word meaning the most, because it starts with the power. So it's like the power is going up, or the power is something. Okay? That's H500. That's a Ah and a La. The La is right before the Ma and the Na, so we're getting close. We're getting real close. So let's try H550. H550. Uh-oh. I'm the one. It's an Ah and a Ma. What you guys?
Which one are we looking for?
We're looking for the word Anya. Anya. It's an Ah and a Na. So we just did, what's this word? This word is I'm the one. Or I'm on the one. Right. But we need, that's an Ah and a Ma. We right there. So let's jump further, but just a little less. Let's try H560. This is an Aramaic word, which came later. It's Amar, borrowed from Hebrew Amar. It corresponds with Hebrew Amar, right? They're related languages. So there's still an Ah and a Ma. Now let's try H565. And let's see what we got. Okay. Amara. Amara. We still in the mob. Let's jump forward. H570. You understand? Still Amash. And the ma. But we're going to keep going. Try H580. H580. Well, oh, wait a minute. What we got now? Anawa. Anawa. Well, let's think about this. We're trying to find Anya. An, A, Na, and the Ya. This is Anawa. So we might need to do what? Maybe go backwards a little bit. Let's see. H579. Ana.
Anua.
Right? Ana. That's a ha.
That's H5.
Na. Right. Now, the only problem is, I'm glad we did it this way so y'all can see this. We're getting closer to the word. I want y'all to type in right now, type in H589. H589. What do y'all see?
Anye. 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 Anya.
What?
It's Anya.
That's exactly what it is. It's this word.
Yeah.
Anya. Right? Now, sometimes you'll get dealt because remember, Strong's is translating it into kind of Yiddish.
Yeah.
So it's not
Going to be
exactly. You might see it, okay, well, na, and the wa. You think, well, the wa is towards the end, so I got to go backwards. Doesn't always work that way because sometimes the ya is used a certain way, especially the ya is one of the main letters that the Yiddish likes to turn into a vowel and do all kind of funky stuff with. So because of that, it's not always going to be perfect. But you see, we got closer and closer to it. H589. H589. Let's read it. Let's get details and see what it says. What? Now they say their transliteration is anai. That is incorrect. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They weren't taught by Commander Joe Yohana. They don't know anything. Anai, that is incorrect. It's Anya. It's Anya. If you look, let's see their pronunciation. If you click it.
H589. Ani. Ani.
Annie. That's what they saying the word means. Annie. Little orphan Annie, I guess. It's disgusting. It's not Annie, you goddamn fool. It's Anya.
Right.
Which sounds, again, way more masculine.
Damn right.
You understand? Way more, you know what I'm saying, of the most high. Ani. This is gross. Salakia, right? But look, I guess the generals knew what they was talking about. Because it says part of speech. What does it say, Yanazar? Under part of speech?
Dictionary just says word phrase, concordance, word phrase, strong.
It's at the top.
At the top.
Right under where you see the actual letters, the the na, and the ya, Anya, it says under it says
okay. Personal pronoun.
Personal what?
Pronoun.
It is a personal pronoun. That's exactly what it is. It's a pronoun. It's contracted from the word from H595. And that's another reason. Let's get that clear too. Another reason why sometimes you'll see a word, you'll say, then, well, that really seems like it should be earlier. Anya seems like it should be before anwa or anawa, but it isn't because anya is a contraction of another word. It's a contraction of the Hebrew word anaki. which, or me. Anakia. This is a contracted form of that word. You understand? So it's like how I am, if I wanted to contract I am, it will become what? What is the contracted form of I am in English?
I'm.
I'm. These mean the exact same thing. The same thing. You understand? So, Slakia. So, Anakia is the same as Anya. But if we, let's get some more, right? Click on where it says show Strong's info. And it'll tell you exactly what it means. Right? Anya, contracted from H595. I, as for me, mine, myself. Right? There's certain instances where it's we, which, or who.
Oh, it says strong definition.
It says Strong's info. Right. See right here? Scroll down. Oh, no, it's, you don't gotta click nothing. This is already open. Right here. Yeah. See? It tells you how it's translated. And it tells an outline of biblical usage. It's used to mean I. Right? Usually for emphasis.
I, as for me, mine, myself, we, which.
Right. First person singular. Which is what it is. We said that. Right? I watch Anya. Singular. Right? You understand? Salak here. So, but here's the beauty of it. 1 second. Let me do that. So now what we can do is we can now see, because we have the word, we know it's Strong's H589, we can literally go and see every time the word Anya is used in the scripture. Right? If we scroll down, we'll see. If the first time it's used is in Genesis chapter 6 and verse 17. And it even told us it's used mostly for emphasis. Genesis chapter 6 and verse 17. Let me see. So I'm gonna just write the first, I'm gonna get right into Syrian. Just write the first couple words real quick. Right? And I'm gonna have my man Yanazar read it. Right, I'm not gonna write too much. Slovakia. It's a little tough. What does that say?
Wanaya, Naya.
Y'all see what just happened, right? You too hard, brother. Okay, try again. This is why we have this class.
Ba.
Nope. You had it right the first time in terms of what.
Na, ya.
I know why you did that.
Because I'm trying to sound it out.
This is totally fine. But what word have we been discussing for the past 10 minutes?
Anya.
Say it again.
Anya.
Say that word again.
Anya.
Say the whole word again.
Anya.
Give him a hand.
Anya.
Most High in Christ. And we talked about the prefix. Rakata Yahweh. Wa. Yahweh Shah means what?
And.
Bless you.
And.
So Anya means
I am.
or I, right? So what read? I'll read it in English from the top. It says, And behold, Genesis chapter 6 and verse 17. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth. The first, in Hebrew, it says, and I. And I.
And I.
Right.
Wa'anya.
Wa'anya. And I. That's the first sentence of that scripture. Or the first word. It says Wa'anya, Hananya, Mabaya, Atha, Hamabo'al, Mayum, Al, Ha'arataza. Right? So the Wa'anya is an I. And this is Hananya. Right? So things like Indi or even I, right? Mabaya or Mabia. Right? Wa'anya. So that's why you gotta become aware of these root words. Hananya, Mabaya. Right? But the important part is right here, the Wa'anya. That's just the first one. It's the first time that the I, the anya, the pronoun is used. We know that a pronoun is used to do what? It replaces a noun. That's what a pronoun does. It replaces a noun. Instead of me having to keep saying Yanzar, if I'm writing something, I can say Yanzar went to the store. He was going to pick up some strong. That's what the pronoun is for. Right? The anya is the singular, first person form of that. Right? So I don't have to, so you don't speak in third person and say, I don't have to say, I went to the store. You know what I'm saying? So we can get the next one. Let's see what's next. Lock here. We'll go back. So the next time the word anya is used, right? Let's see Salak here. Unbiblical usage. No, it's not the one I want. Here we go. Salak here. Here we go. So then the next one is Genesis chapter 9 and verse 12. Again, you can just scroll down and just see every time it's used, right? It says, Wa'amar, Alhayim, Za'af, Awaf, Habaryath, right? Ashar, Anya, Nathan, Bayanya, right? So, but if we read it in the English, it says, and God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature, right? So we know the Waya Amar, and he said, right? Alahayim, the powers, or the Most High, right? Za'af, Wayath, Baryath, Ashar, Anya. So Anya is first person. Let's try the next one. Let's try a thought. Right? I want you to go home and use these tactics for yourselves and find certain words. Just think about a Hebrew word we know. Just think about a Hebrew word. Think about my name or your name. I'm saying think about one of the generals, one of the captains. Right? Think about the words we say in the salute. Barak. You can find it. Right. You can find those words. Now sometimes those words are a conglomerate of other words from a root. Right? So it may not be easy to find, but you can find it. So now let's try a thought. We got anya, right? Let's try a thought. So if anya starts with an ah and then a na, we need a ah and then a tha. Now we know this is going to be further because tha is the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, right? Okay. So if we found anya at H589, I mean, at the very least we got to go H. Let's try H650. Let's try that. H650. Y'all got it?
So lucky. I got it now.
Okay. What's on Christ?
8650.
Apayak or apyakwa, right? And it's an ah and a pa. We need an ah and a tha, so we got to go even further down.
Yeah, okay.
So let's try H750. Uh-oh. H750. We got Iraq. No, it's not the same as Iraq. It's not the same. Iraq begins with an I. Right? This is Iraq. This is 8750. That's an I and then a Ra. Well, we're getting close because the Ra is right before the Shah, which is right before the Tha. So let's jump. Let's go H800. We got what? A Shah. Right? We've heard that word before. A Shah. Right? But that's not what we're looking for. We got to get to the Tha. We need a Tha. So let's go even further. Let's go H850. Let's go there. So lock here.
Eston.
Right? It's like Ashafta one. Ashafta one. Or Ashta one. All right? It's a name, but that's not it. It's still an ah and a shah. So we're getting close. That's an ah, a shah, and a tha, which is the last letter. So it's the first letter in the Hebrew alphabet, the ah, with a shah and a tha, the last two letters. So we're getting real close. Now we're gonna the next increment, we're gonna even smaller. Let's go H860. H8, we got an ah, and we got a tha. Ah for one. Ah for one. Ah for one. We got to go back a little bit. We got the ah and the tha, but there's more. We know in alphabetical order, if there's more that comes after, if you just need the first letter, you got to back up a little bit. So let's try H859. H859, go. Uh-oh. That looks, what does that look like to you? It look right?
Hold on, let me get this coming up. Ata.
Look at the letters. That's why it's important when you transliterate, when you look at the transliteration of the English form of it, don't ignore this. It's a ah, it's a tha, and a ha. A tha with a silent H. It's there. So if we put this in Hebrew, we would have in ancient, right? I'll write it over here, right? A tha, because A-H-T-H-A-H, we have the ah, right? We have the tha, and we have the ha. All three letters. In the Assyrian, we have the ah, we have the tha, and we have the ha. Is that what we have here in Strong's H859? What a coincidence. It's the same number, just jumped up. Just a coincidence though. We're not spooky here. All right. H859 is a thought. And let's read it. Let's see what it says. Let's see if it coincides with everything we taught. Transliteration atah, that's wrong, it's a thought.
Personal pronoun.
Personal what?
Personal pronoun.
It's a personal pronoun. Just like we learned. That's what it is. They're saying ta because they're translating the tha as a ta. Right? They're looking at tha as ta, right? So they say a ta, but it's a tha. Now, if we click on Strong's info, right? Shortened a tha or af, right? It's still a tha, feminine, irregular, sometimes afaya. Now here we go, right? It gives you more information in Strong's definition.
Value.
Right? If you see it, it says plural masculine.
I don't see that.
I'll show you in 1 second, brother.
I'm looking at the wrong place. Strong Almost concordant results, verb phrases,
Right.
tools.
See it in Assyrian? Sorry.
Atah, they got it atah.
It says right there.
In Hebrew concordance.
It says plural masculine, a thumb. You see, I'm gonna show you right now. Right? Plural masculine, a thumb.
Got it.
Right. Plural masculine, a thumb. Well, guess what? We already knew that. Here it is. A thumb. And what do we write? Plural, masculine, a thumb. Right? There it is. Tell all your friends. And we can see some more if we look at it. Right? A thumb. And then right to it, it says feminine. Feminine what? Feminine plural, a thun. A 10 when they transliterate it. But if you look at the Assyrian lettering,
Atah.
right. No, that's off the knob. It's right there. A thun. A lot of these are contractions, shortened versions, right? So this is shortened off the knob, but it's a thun.
That's right. Here we go. There goes the nah at the end.
Right now, let's see.
The word.
And if you look at the definition, what? A primitive pronoun of the second person. Thou and thee, or plural ye and you. Thee, thou, ye, you. We can read a sentence. It says it right? Outline of biblical usage. You, second person singular. Show concordance results. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 14. Slide. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 14. And it says, Waya Amar, which means, and he said, Waya Amar.
Can I ask?
Please.
Yes, I mean, where do you see the Hebrew at?
Click on the slide. So
Oh,
once
you got it. Just
you
hit on
go to
that.
show concordance results, right? And you'll see Genesis 3 and 14.
Right about that.
Yeah, the tools.
Oh,
The next
tools.
one, the tools. It brought you to the app. But that's too long. That's not a problem.
Okay, we deal with that some other. Okay.
Right? And then it should pop up.
Oh, some other shit. I must have hit something.
Let's go back there. Just go back there. There's tools. That's gonna be copy and paste. So you should just select. Right. Yes. Did you zoom in? Yeah, it's fine. You gotta close it. The app comes up as 12. Don't worry about it. So remind me later to get dismiss. Okay.
Oh, yeah, they went to the scripture.
What's the description? We need
The Hebrew.
Right.
I gotta figure that out, how to go to the tool, to the Hebrew.
Where's the
Oh,
just go back to the actual website. Let me see. I'll do this. Let me try it. I don't know if it'll work for now. Okay. I'll figure out. There's a way to cut that off.
yeah, I'm gonna experiment with it, man.
It's a lot.
Get it right, man.
But when you get it, it'll take you to the tools. And you can see the scripture. So Genesis chapter 3 and verse 14. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle. In the scripture, right? So in the Hebrew it says, Waya Amar, Yahweh, Elohim, Anakash, Kaya, Ashayaf, Za'af, a reward, a thought, Makal, Habama, Waya Amar, and he said, Yahweh, or and said, why you Amar, and he said, the Lord, Most High, Halakash, right? Which means he said ha, so Halakash means to the serpent, right? Kaya, Ashaya, Sa'af, right? There's more words there that I'm not sure of right at the moment. But the point is, the part where he says, down, he says, our reward, a thug, right? So our reward, right, or arar means cursed, right? It means curse. Arar means curse. A reward, right? A thug, curse you, curse you. I've cursed you. You understand? That's where that thought comes in. That's Genesis chapter 3 and verse 14. Let's get another one. We'll get let's go further. Let's go ahead. Let's see. Okay. This is Tawab scripture, right? It's a great one for people who think that women can be teachers. They say, well, the New Testament says that women can't teach, and that ain't in the Old Testament. Well, Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 31. Let's see what this says. And ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your God, saith the Lord God. You understand? The flock of the Lord's pasture is men. You know what I'm saying? We the ones who he deals with. You understand? So now, but if we read, Shalom, what's going on? Yeah, don't worry about it. Your boys outside. Ooh.
Dimitri, whatever. He can fight.
Get the hell out of here. Good night.
He was like, oh, Mr. T.
Mr. You crazy, bro. So, Locky. So we got right here, Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 31. If we read it in Hebrew, so the first sentence is, and ye my flock. In the Hebrew, it says, wa'athun, taza'anya, right? Taza'an, mara'ithia, right? Adam. The taza'anya, right? Taza'anya. Now, how the tazah plays into that at the moment, I'm not too sure. You worry about the anya would be I, because it does say, and ye my flock. The anya, so the my flock would be is taza'anya. Right. But it says, why a thun, right? See, you even caught me off guard at first. The first word is this. You see, it'll just have the root word, but you got to see. Stop. What does that say? What's that word?
Anyaka.
That's a thought.
That's a thought, okay. The ka.
It's a thought.
The ka. Oh, Salakia. Now.
Which means
Afanya na. Afanya
Wa?
na.
I'm stuck.
Wa. A. Fun.
a thun.
Fun.
Which it means, and a thun means what?
Your.
Right. To you. Right? That's why it says a thun. You understand?
Yeah, man, I'm starving, man.
Nah, it's all good.
I'm starving to be able to read.
Because it says it later too. So it says a thun. Right? Taza'anya. Taza'an. Marayafia. Adam. A thumb. Anya. Alahayakum. Right? So the Anya, and that's where it says Anya, I, right? Yahweh. Right? So that's how that works, man. And it happens all through the scriptures. Right? So now, Salakia, we're gonna do this next one together. I haven't seen this one yet, but we're gonna find it, I promise you. I know we are. So we did Anya, and we did a thumb, right? Salakia. You see right here, yeah. Done. So now let's see if we can find Hawa'a. So we know the Ha. Abagada Ha. It's the fourth letter. We've been in the this whole time. We're gonna jump pretty far. Let's try H2000. Let's try H2000. Everybody following me as far as how to use the blue letter?
Yeah, I'm learning. This is what I'm really learning. This is the first time I'm really learning how to use it.
Count. What's on correct? Right. So this, Most High in Christ. So this says Ha-Ma.
You said
Hamam. H2000. Hamam. Right? Hebrew word means discomfit, destroy, to crush, destroy, right? Hamam. So we got the Ha, we got the Ma. We got to back up, right? No, sorry, we got to go further.
Yeah,
Because we got the Ha, we need a Ha and a Wa.
Wow.
So we got to go further. So let's try H2200. H2200. That's too far. It went to the side.
Okay.
So let's try H2100.
2100. Go.
Still too far. Zawab. Let's try H2050. H2050. Okay. Hathaf. Ha and the Tha and the Tha. So we still need Hawa. So guess we're not too far off. We got to go back. No, we got to go back a little bit more because it's a Wa. We need Ha and a Wa. So let's go back. Let's try H2020. H2020. That's Ha to Za. Still too far. H2010. We'll get it. We're going to figure it out.
Oh, Lord, the network is preparing our service.
H2010 is Ha and the Na. So we got to go back a little bit further. 2000 further. Go back to H2000. We messed up because it's Ha, Ma. We should have went backwards. That's my bad. I made us go forward. We should have went backwards. So now let's go H1800. A little too far back. That's a Da. That's Dal. So let's try H1900. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Haga. The Ga comes before the Ha. So Haga. We got to go a little bit forward. Let's try H1920. Remember, we're looking for Hawa'a. This is what we're looking for. So H1920 is Hadap. We're getting closer. We went from Haga to Hadap. Right? So that goes forward. We got to go a little more forward. Let's try H1930. Hope I'm not confusing y'all.
Nah, I'm getting it.
Okay.
This is helping me.
Right. We got Hawa.
Hawa.
H1930 is a Ha and a Wa. All we need now is to go a little bit further because, shoot, look, what's the next letter? After the Ha and the Wa, what's the next letter?
Za.
Za?
The Ah.
The Ah,
Yeah.
which is the what letter of the alphabet?
The first.
The first.
Should be
So
right.
which it should most give him a hand. It should be the first letter, right? So let's try H1931.
I'm learning some of this. What's on credit?
Right. What we got? Let me know when y'all get it.
Hold on a second. My phone is acting up again. I have to hit that. 31. Go.
1931.
Ha ya ah. Ha ya ah.
Hawa'a. We found it. Also in Christ. H 1931. So recap. This was what? Anya.
I gotta learn how to
This
ignore their little
Yeah, you 12. A thought. And now we done found ha, wa, it says it, right? Demonstrative pronoun, third. Do we not have it here? Right? It's the third person singular pronoun. So strong info. Beyond, he's permanent the word, the third person pronoun saying he, she, or it.
Himself.
Right. That, him, saying, this, he, which, who, such, wherein. Go to show outline of biblical usage. He, she, it. Right? When we go down, and here's how we see it. Look, now check this out. If you go to Jusinius's Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, a lexicon is a reference book that shows basically the origins of words and the usages of words. There's a thing on a blue letter that says show Jusinius's Hebrew Chaldee lexicon. It's lucky.
I see it.
Okay, click on that. See it? Show Genesis Hebrew Chaldee lexicon. Let me show y'all on the Facebook real quick.
Well, this information on Genius.
All right.
Chaldee lexicon. Click here. Okay, let me click that.
You click on that, and you'll see the entry where it says Hawa'a, pronoun third person singular, masculine he. Right? Then you'll see the letter A in Hawa'a and Haya'a. You understand? The Haya'a, of course, we'll get that one next. That's going to be a little bit different. But this is where it comes from. Hawa'a. So we know that means he, right?
Not part of it.
And then we can scroll down and we can see the scriptures. Show concordance results. It's used as that sometimes. Name the first person. That is it.
It matches the Hebrew.
Let me see. Salaki. Now check this out. Let's see something. Let's see this.
Wow.
Let's see.
Hawa'a. That's it. Which concurs 36 verses in the Bible concordance.
Genesis chapter 4 and verse 4, Salaki. And Abel, Genesis chapter 4 and verse 4 says, and Abel, he also brought up the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. In the Hebrew, it says, Wa Habal, that's Abel's name in Hebrew, Habal. Wa Habal, right? Habaya, you understand? Gum Hawa'a. Gum Hawa'a. All right? The Hawa'a there is he, and it says, you see, and Abel, he, and you'll see it, H 1931. Hawa'a, and he. You understand? Let's see something. Let's see. If we wanted to be thorough, let's see if we can find that. Let's back up a little bit and see if we can find Haya'a before we get to Ham, and we're gonna close out. Right?
Okay.
So let's see.
We're gonna go like 1890.
See Hawa'a wa, the wa right there. So we got to go further. We get Hawa'a. We need to go higher. So yeah, let's see. We're at 90. We got to go further. So we had 1931. We got to go forward further. So let's try 1970. H 1970. That's Hakar. That's the ha
In the car.
the ka. The ka is right after the ya. So let's go back just a little bit. H 1960. Haya Dawaf. Right? So we got the Haya, but then there's Haya Da. We gotta back up a little bit. Let's try it. H Dawath. Hayadawath. We need ha-ya-ah. So we gotta back up from the dot. So let's try H1955. That goes to Hawa, right? This is similar to Hawasha's name. This is another word similar. We gotta go forward because we need Haya. So let's try H1956. Hawatayar. Nope.
Hawatayar.
Go a little further. So let's try H1957.
Thayar.
Hazar. Nope. We gotta go. We need ha. Yeah. So we gotta go a little further. So H1958. Hi. That's haya. We need haya. So this next one, let's try H1959. Let's see. Let's see if we luck up. Nope. That's hayada.
Hayada.
So what that is? So haya. Let's see.
Hayada.
So that's a different word. So for haya'ah, you have to stick with hawa'ah, which is H1931. So let's see something.
What would you use as the feminine plural? Or no. I'm ahead of myself. Salaki.
Which one? That's right. Haya, we know is to be. So if we go back H1931. H1931. If you read, let's see the full entry real quick. Salakia.
Haya'ah.
Hold up. Salakia.
Or is that Hawa'a?
Now check this out. This is how I want y'all to see this real quick to see how thorough these brothers who back in the 60s understood this and researched it. If you look again where it says the geniuses or Genesius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon, there's a section when you click on it where it says you can read more. If you scroll down, there's a part that says Salakia.
The Chaldean lexicon? Is that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you scroll down, there's a section that says in the Pentateuch, Hawa'ah also takes in the feminine and stands instead of Haya'ah, which according to the Masorah on Genesis 38:25 is found, but 11 times in the whole of the Pentateuch. This part says, those who append the points to the text, not attending to this idiom of the Pentateuch, whenever Hawa'ah is feminine, have treated it as though it were an error, and have pointed it Hawa'ah to signify that it ought to be read. What does that say? It ought to be read. What is that?
Ha-wa-ah. Well, right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ha.
And then what?
And ya.
That it ought to be read.
Haya'ah.
Slakia. YouTube, so they can see it. It ought to be read.
Haya'ah.
Haya'ah. Right? You see it on Facebook. See that? Ought to be read. Haya'ah. These brothers was diligent, man.
That's incredible.
I'm telling you.
Like, to come from nowhere to find these things.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
You know, the Most High had to be with them, man.
Right.
There's no question, man.
And then we got, of course, we could do a knock now. In fact, if you go back, if we were to go back real quick, so we got Hawa'ah, and we see the Haya'ah is within that. So if we go to Go back to H859 real quick. For the thought, and then click again on where it says Show Strong's info.
Show Strong's definition, show Strong's info. You mean show Strong's definitions? Strong's definitions, legend. I always like it's not.
What are you talking? It's different for
Yeah,
you
for
know,
my
yeah.
phone, because a different kind of phone.
Right. Yeah, that's too wild.
It says strong definition. Feminine, irregular, sometimes plural, masculine.
No, it's not in it. The one I'm looking for is not in this one. It's too wild though. But you can easily find a knock now as well.
Mhm.
But real quick, we're gonna get hum and then we done. So now we done did hawa. Now we're gonna look for hum. This plural, this pronoun. So if we got ha and the wa, ha, wa, now we need hum, we gotta go a little bit further. So H1931, let's try H, let's go back to H2000. H2000 is hamam. So man, we shouldn't have to go too far. Let's try H1910. No, sorry, Salakia. Let's try H1990. Most High in Christ. And that's not the one.
That's it.
That's the almost, because you got to read further because it says what? Part of speech, proper locative noun. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for one that says pronoun. Right? It's spelled the same, but it says uncertain derivation, hum, a region of Palestine. Nope. We want hum the pronoun. Let's try H1889.
H1889.
Come. No, that didn't work. Let's go back the other way. Let's try H1991. There we go. Three. Abundance, i.e., wealth. Any of theirs. Let's click on where it says. You see where it says any? You see where it says that Strong's definition from H1993.
I don't see that. Oh, there it is, right there.
Click on H1993.
Okay. Hama.
Let's see.
Yeah. That sounds serious.
That's the one. H1992.
1992.
See, you got to be thorough. This one says what? Where it says part of speech. Read that. You understand?
Part of speech, pronunciation. The third person plural, masculine personal pronoun.
The what?
Third party plural.
The third person plural,
There.
masculine personal pronoun. Right? If we go down to Show Strong's info, it says masculine plural from what?
1931.
Masculine plural.
From
He's
Hawa.
watching.
Hawa.
Masculine plural. It's not this one. Masculine plural from that. Their. Right? And it says it right there. It says they. Only used emphatic. They, them, themselves, these, those, as many more as ye saying. Show outline of biblical usage. They, these, the same, who. Right? And it says it right here. See, with the article, it becomes the demonstrative. These. See how All right. Salaki, let's get the scripture in and we're going to close out on this, man. We done went through it, man. You can find these brothers, man. This Lashawan Qadash is very real. This is real Hebrew. Okay, you can do your studies. It's there. Please.
Right. Like, they didn't have computer in the phone. So you can imagine.
Give that brother a hand.
The work they have to do.
Them seven heads, Ariyah, Masha, Yaquab, all of them. They didn't have a blue letter Bible. The Strong's Concordance existed, but it wasn't easy to get. These brothers was spending hours. What's the big library up in Manhattan?
New York City
The
Library.
New York Public Library?
Yeah.
The New York City Library. They were spending hours in there.
Probably had to go down to the basement.
In the basement, in the archives. For real, for real.
That shit is out anyway.
Yeah, man. These brothers was the real deal. We're gonna get one scripture to show this, and then we out. All right. So let's see. We go to show concordance results. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open. This is talking about who? It's talking about Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
And they knew that they were naked. So if we read in the Hebrew, while the pakwa hana, ayanya, shan yahum, why the Iowa kaya, ayaramum, hum, why the parwa, right?
Naked together.
Right. That's what it says.
Yeah.
And they were, and it says that the eyes of both of them were opened. That's where it says the pakwa, right? So, and their eyes were open. So the first, the pakana is saying, and their eyes were open, right? Or and were open, ayanya, their eyes, shanyahum, right? Them both, why the Iowa, right? Kaya to them, ayar, it's like ayaramum, hum, right? The hum is they. It's used in different ways in the scriptures, but it means they. Right. And they knew they were naked. You understand? So we're gonna get more, man. We're gonna continue to combine the grammar with the letters and the pronunciation and understanding how we use the resources and the tools until we're just gonna continue to get our culture back. Right? With the help of the brothers who did it before us, man. Give them brothers a hand, man. Give them brothers in the Isupk a hand, man. And not just going way back to the 60s and 70s with the 7 heads, but man, just give Haza Ab a hand, man. Give them captains a hand. Give them generals a hand and high-ranking officers, man. These brothers for the last 10, 15 years been doing it, man. And they know this language, man. We're gonna try to get like them. You know what I'm saying? And with that, pass the class over to Peace over Somalia. Your mother? Okay. You saw them, he had both of them to go?
I didn't even see him. I don't know, but I think so. He told me he had all of them.
That's crazy. He's crazy. I can't believe you drove this far. Go ahead.
Isupk security announcements. We at Isupk started out of 1 West 125th Street, New York, under Command General Yana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'ashu. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, gives to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever the amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, of course, is tomorrow, right? Which starts the Feast of Purim. So it'll be Saturday and also Sunday too, I believe. Right?
What time?
As far as the exact time,
It'll probably, you want to probably be here around
6:30,
Yeah,
6 o'clock, you know, to 7 o'clock,
6:30. We'll probably put the camp somewhere around 5:30.
because it begins at sundown. Remind Akim Agwathin to check the social media, such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, so on, for ISUBK events and materials. For brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf, and with that, I mighty him.
It's self-same.
Okay.